No, I don't think so. I think that I watched obviously the United game yesterday at lunchtime. That was a game that swung back and forwards, a game where you're thinking that Manchester United can go into second. They're winning, you think manage and control the game, and all of a sudden Tottenham go and score 2 goals and you think it's euphoria for them. And you're thinking then at the end of the game for United, it's a good point. And for Tottenham, they'll be disappointed that they've sort of given away that last-minute goal. But, yeah, I think that both of those clubs, United and Tottenham, will just be a little bit... I mean, look, it's been a good month for United. You know, United started this month by, obviously, beating Liverpool after the last international break, and they've got 8 points out of their 4 Premier League games, which, if you just said to me, Liverpool away, Forest away, Brighton at home and Tottenham away, I said 8 points is a great result. But because they got 6 in the first 2, there's an element of thinking, well, if they just got another 2 or 3 points, they'd be right up there at this moment in time with second. But I think United should really be looking, and Tottenham, if they can get it right, you know, more United really with the fact they're not in Europe. I think it's tougher for Tottenham with the fact that they've got the European games. But for United, they really should be thinking around top 4. They really should, because there's no one grabbing it at this moment. You look at Chelsea. You know, they're sort of obviously up there at the moment, and you've got Tottenham who don't look sure, Liverpool are not sure. It's there for the taking, and so it's about consistency now. You know, after this international break, I always think this is the sort of biggest frustration, these 3 international breaks that we have. And then I think to myself, you've got then 2 or 3 months of lots of sort of games, the winter slog, if you like. This is what, you know, it'll sort the teams out, sort everybody out over the winter period, and you come out of January. And then you start to see where really everybody is. But there's a good opportunity for United. Bournemouth have lost today. I think Forest have picked up. That's a decent win for Forest. They've picked up 4 points in 2 games. So it's starting to equalise itself out. It's starting to work itself out. But interestingly, I think today the big story obviously is Pep Guardiola's 1000th game, and that City are within 4 points of Arsenal, and they've dominated the champions. And you know, Arne Slot's here doing his interview now, and I think he'll be very worried tonight.
Deja vu for Manchester United. A late goal rescued a point at Spurs on Saturday, a week after they did the same thing at Nottingham Forest. It's now 5 unbeaten for United, and they go into the international break in a far more positive frame of mind than the last one. So much so that Gary Neville says they should be thinking about a top 4 finish. And Matthijs de Ligt headed home this corner in the last of 6 minutes of stoppage time to snatch a draw in a game that seemed they have control of, but then almost lost it when Richarlison scored just a few minutes earlier.
I think United should really be looking, and Tottenham, if they can get it right. You know, more United really with the fact they're not in Europe. I think it's tougher for Tottenham with the fact that they've got the European games. But for United, they really should be thinking around top 4. They really should, because there's no one grabbing it at this moment. You look at Chelsea. You know, they're sort of obviously up there at the moment, and you've got Tottenham who don't look sure, Liverpool are not sure. It's there for the taking.
Top 4 for Manchester United. Is it there for the taking, Tim?
Yeah, it's there for the taking, that's for sure. I mean, Man City, Liverpool, Arsenal. So who else? Chelsea would probably put their hand up first, and I would agree with most people who suggest Chelsea.
Villa are getting up there. Villa are just outside now by 1 point.
I think they will be top 5 because we'll be so dominant in Europe again, but we won't know till the end of the season. So I think likes of Tottenham and certainly Manchester United, Gary makes a good point there, with no interruption midweek, so they got a full training week. This man, Ruben Amorim, talked about how he's a good coach. He gets on the training pitch, he works with the group, he has a lot of downtime for them boys as well. And they're picking up injuries. So that myth of being overplayed, and they picked up 3 injuries at the weekend. I mean, for me, they're getting players, they get undertrained. That's what players do. You know, they've got no excuse to pick up muscle injuries. Why have they picked up muscle injuries? You know, it just happens. That's the reality of it. You know, it's nothing to do with overplaying. You know, they can't argue about overplaying. They're out of the cup. They're not in Europe. It's Premier League to Premier League. He's got all the time in the world to work with them players. That gives them an advantage. It should do. But now they picked 3